So the ceilings are kind of difficult. So what you do is you have another person helping you hold it up. Then you get drywall nails and you just stick 1 or 2 on each side, just enough to hold it before you get the screws in. Or you could do like what my genius 87-year-old grandfather did, and he built, designed, engineered, and fabricated a machine that would hold it up for him so he could do it on his own. Don't break through the paper. See, the drywall screw gun gives it to the exact right depth. That one went too deep. It ripped through the paper, so it's not going to be holding. But it's only 4 feet, so do it twice. I don't know what the right symbols are, but do you understand that it's this line and not that line? 10 snips. Cut this up. So we got this wall done. We just need to do this wall right here. All of our tools. Judo! Ah, wrong way. Broke my judo chopper. Utility knife. Press hard. Judo chop. There we go. If you got room. Ah. So that's the piece we cut. It's going right here. Luckily, we're going to do crown molding in the top corner, so we don't need to do corner taping there, and only have to do corner taping right here, and then blend the texture of this drywall to here. Check out that shaped door. That used to be the ceiling, the roof of this before we added all this bedroom. Alright, so we got the piece in place, but at the top there's quite a gap. So, you get your utility bar underneath the edge like that. Can you see this? And then you just push down on it, and it lifts it up to the right height. Then you screw it in. Too far. Here, use this guy. That's why I like this, because it doesn't go too deep. Perfecto. So you want this thing like a toiger, right? So if it moves while the mud is on there, the mud will crack. Now look at this. It moves just slightly. That one broke through the paper, so it's not holding. The more screws, the merrier. So get it nice and tight, that way when your mud's all done, it won't move and crack. So now we're getting ready for the corner molding, right? So this is about what you want it to look like, and you got to just test it. Just put this on it, make sure that it all looks like it's tight, it fits all the way up to there. And then there's all these holes. You just put screws in it and make it nice and tight. Tight like a toiger. Here's the finished example. That's what you want in the end, like that. And avoid kicking it. We're going to repair that while we're here. So we got our corner molding cut to size. I'm going to use these bigger holes for the screws. You could use nails, maybe with the smaller holes. Screws don't come out. At least I've never seen one come out. Now when you do it, it's got a little bevel right here. So your mud is going to just smooth it all out. So you want the screw to be low enough to where the mud will cover it and it'll just be real nice and smooth. And just use as many as you want. The more the merrier. So right here, look, you can see I can push it in. So there's no hole right there, but there's these little dents, little tiny holes. So I just stick the screw through there and make my own hole. Make sure it's tight so it doesn't move. So now we're going to do the tape. You need some paper tape. Don't use fiberglass. It sucks. To rip it, just put it on the wall like this. Get a nice clean cut. You're going to need a 6-inch knife for the seams. You're going to need a long, at least 12-inch or a long one to blend it in so you don't see this, whatever you call that. You're going to need a mud pan for the corners. One inside corner, you're going to need one of these. So I take these and I just measure how long I need the tape to be like this. Put my knife down. Rip. Sponge in a bucket of water, always handy. Alright, so here's the mud we're using. It's all purpose, so it's for texture and everything. I'm going to try to keep this as clean as possible, but it's damn near impossible to stay clean. So, get your bucket, get some mud. Don't let it dry out. Okay, so this stuff doesn't stain clothes, and just keep a rag handy. 6-inch knife. Put this stuff on. Kind of thick. Notice I'm trying to keep it from spilling as I go. Like that piece right there. Wow. That looks pretty good. Clean your knife off. Now the tape has a line in the middle. It's supposed to fold for corners. You want it pointed in, all right? Place our tape down. Place down. Now, get my, just squeeze all the excess and get that tape in there nice and firm. See that little bubble there? This is more of an art than a science, right? So as you can see, it's pretty smooth. I hope you can see that. I'm trying to get the lighting good. Pretty smooth. So the edges of the drywall will bevel. They bevel so that you can build up mud, and when you're done, it's totally flat. So mine's not beveled very much because it's only 1/4 inch. But then you get your long 12-inch or your longer knife, and you come through and don't press too hard, and it'll kind of fill it in. So the end result, what you want is you don't want to see a dip. Clean your hands as you go so you don't make a huge mess. This is the 12-inch blade. That's how much I got on there. See, that's looking pretty good. I'll show different angles, but you're not going to see that dip. And we're not going to sand. We're going to try to sponge this, because sanding is a nightmare of a mess. And so I'm getting it as good as I can now. Remember, guys, the texture coat will cover all sins, all imperfections. You see a big wide, so you're not going to see that dip in there. Okay, so epilepsy warning. If this light gives you a seizure, my bad. It's looking like a strobe light on the camera. But I needed to get some good lighting. So we're going to do the screw hole. So I'm just going to go to a 6-inch knife, right? Just about that much. And I'm going to do like 2 swipes, right? So just go down in one direction. This is the screw holes. And then come back the other direction. Get your lines off, clean it up. Make sure you don't have any dirt in it and it's dragging, leaving lines like that. That's why you got to keep this stuff clean. And that's how you do it for all the screw holes. So the tape on the seams is so it doesn't crack, so the mud doesn't crack when it dries. Now, right here, you notice that's kind of a big hole because I didn't listen to my markings right there, and I drilled through and the whole screw gun went through. So I'm going to put a little piece of tape there, that way the mud doesn't crack when it dries. So this is what it all looks like when the screw holes are done. Now, I'm not doing this top corner, thank God, because I'm putting crown molding on it and we put drywall on top of it, so you might have to. The taping's really for fire code. It's to make an airtight seal so it can't feed the fire and your air conditioning and all that. Well, we don't need that here, so I'm good there. The only corner I have, which I'll show you how to do, is right here, this inside corner. So let's do that. So for this inside corner, I measured my paper. Then I just creased it like this. So as you can see, and I didn't do it the full length. I'm going to do it in 2 pieces so it's easy, so it's not like so tight at the end. You're going to need one of these guys for the corner. It's been a minute since I've done this, so I forgot the best way to do it. Just slap it on like that. No. I use a flat knife first. I remember! Get it all in the corner. Alright. Why I'm not doing those ones. So I jammed it in the corner first with a flat blade. Then I got this. Jam it in the corner. Good as I can. Keep it all lined up. Hopefully my head's not in your way. I'm going to take my corner knife. I like to just grab it so it doesn't slide down. And then push real hard down and jam it in there. Wipe this off. Oh, joy to corners. Alright, we'll clean that up in a minute. Now I'm going to get this piece. I'm going to go from the bottom up because it's easier than going below the floor. So right here is where our tape ended. So this is the second piece of tape. Get your corner. Grab onto the tape. Don't mess up that tape. Like I just did. Now it's in there, it's pretty good. I'm gonna put a little bit on top. I don't see the line of the tape. And if a line shows, I don't know. I'm gonna try to avoid that, but it's not the end of the world, and you got your texture coat to cover it up. You try to make it as nice as possible. Clean it up now while it's wet, because sanding is a nightmare of a mess. That's what the sponge is for.